funny. It's not funny. Hi, my name is Sylvette. I am a simple woman blessed to have a quiet, drama free life, but sometimes I need a little spice, and nothing spices things up more for me than a good old Tubi joint. So today we'll be talking about the drama filled thriller called Please! So the movie starts, and we are introduced to our girl, Daylin, who begins her day heading down to the kitchen via elevator. I'm sorry, not to sound like a hater, but who the heck is she? Like, are you a Rockefeller or something? So ding, ground floor, Daylin makes her way to the kitchen where we see her husband, Zach, who is just letting it all hang out. He's got his shirt off, his little pecs out, tattoos showing, making her breakfast because it's the most important meal of the day. I guess he's just trying to start the day off right. They sit down together. They're eating breakfast. She's like, ooh, baby, I love you. And he's like, ooh, girl, I love you too. And she's like, ooh, I love how you put sugar and butter in my grits. And he's like, yeah, baby, I know what you like. So as an outsider looking in, to me, she has it all. You know, you have a house elevator, you have a shirtless husband making you breakfast, even though I don't like grits, but that's not a total deal breaker. What more could you possibly want? Well, Daylin wants to have a baby, and unfortunately, she and Zach have been having trouble conceiving. A little bit later, they have a doctor's appointment where I guess they're gonna find out some test results about Daylin's fertility. So she's feeling very anxious about it. And Zach is being very comforting and reassuring and letting her know if they're meant to have a baby, then he or she will come whenever they come. But in the meantime, let's just enjoy our breakfast and our time together. And whatever the results say, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So fast forward a little bit, they're at the doctor's office and Daylin is stressing and Zach is letting her know
everything could be okay. We're gonna have that family we always dreamed of.
So the doctor walks in and she's so cute. And I think it's probably for the best because she doesn't have good news, and I feel like they sent her in to kind of soften the blow. As the doctor is giving the results, it's revealed that sadly, Daylin was abused when she was a child by her uncle, and it affects her ability to reproduce. So the doctor is giving other alternatives since Daylin won't be able to have a baby on her own. Understandably, this is very upsetting for Daylin.
Can you please just leave me and my husband alone?
Zach is trying his best to reassure her, letting her know that no matter what, he's not going anywhere.
Because if we like then,
Ain't no switching up.
It's been a couple of days since the doctor's visit, and we see Daylin at her job. She works as a jeweler, and there we also are introduced to her friend slash coworker. I don't think they ever mention what her name is, so I'm just gonna call her Ruby because she's a gem, and she's so pretty and sweet. She's just making sure that Daylin is good. As Ruby's heading out to have her break, in walks Zach, who, side note, he's wearing a vest. I don't know if he does construction or what, but I'm guessing like whatever he does for work plus Daylin being a jeweler equals elevator money. So kudos to them, I guess. But anyway, he is there to surprise her and cheer her up. He brings her this huge stuffed bear, which is so cute. I would love it if my main squeeze brought me a stuffed bear to my job. They're having a cute little moment together, and Zach lets Daylin know that he's going to a birthday party a little later that night and asks if she'd like to come. And she says, oh no, I just want to have like a chill night in. I'm gonna catch up on some chores, do some laundry. And he's like, oh, well, since you're doing laundry, would you mind washing my socks and my undies and all that? And Daylin's like, oh yeah, of course, no problem. And Zach's like, okay, cool. Well, when I get to the party, I'm gonna call you and let you know that I made it safely, because he's a very considerate husband. So the nighttime comes, all right? Daylin is at home where she said she was gonna be. and she's doing laundry like she said she was gonna do. And where is Zach? Not at a birthday party. He is in bed with another woman with his shirt off, pecs all out, tattoos showing. What the heck? What the heck, Zach? What the heck? And get this. He has been cheating. This woman that he's with, her name is Lonnie. Apparently, they've been messing around for quite some time. And while he's with her, he's saying, oh, I'm going to be with you. I love you so much. I'm going to leave Dalen. I hate to admit it, but Zach got me. He really got me. Because when I first watched this, I thought he was a stand-up guy. Like, I really thought that he was a great husband. And I was just so devastated. I was so disappointed in him. And he's not even my man. So can you just imagine how Dalen felt? We gonna get to that in a bit. So the secret's out. I know, you know, we know. Zach is trash, okay?
Zach is trash.
And the whole time he was doing the do with Lonnie, Dalen was calling him because back before we knew that Zach was trash, he said that he was gonna call her when he got to the party, right? Right. Okay. Well, he didn't call her.
Call her!
So Dalen doesn't know what's going on with him. And he's not answering his phone. So she's blowing him up. So Lonnie steps away to do God knows what. I don't know. But Zach gets his phone and he sees all these missed calls. So he's like, oh, snap. So he answers the phone and he's talking to Dalen. And he's like, oh, sorry, babe. I couldn't call you. I was just drinking with the boys and they took my keys because I'm drunk and they don't want me driving. So Dalen's like, oh, okay, no problem. Well, I can come pick you up. And he's like, no. You don't have to do that. I'm going to just sleep over and I'm going to see you tomorrow. So she's like, okay, well, I love you. Bye. And he's like, all right, bye. Boom. So he hangs up the phone. Lonnie comes back in and she's a character because she's like, oh, that was her again, which is like the nerve. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's his wife.
I'm his wife, and ain't nothing fake about that.
And you know that that's his wife. So like, how you mad that she's calling him? Whatever. They go back to getting busy. And Miss Thing Lonnie, she's like, I have something for her. So as they're in the middle of it, I don't know if she calls Dalen or Dalen calls her, but Dalen's on the phone.
Hold on, bitch.
Hello?
I got something for your ass since you want to keep ringing this motherfucking phone.
And she's hearing everything. And Dalen, it's not funny. It's not funny because this is her life. Like, this is not funny. This is her marriage is falling apart. It's not funny. When she hears them, she's like, oh, no, please don't. She has like one of the best meltdowns I have ever seen in cinematic history. Like, oh my God, it's just, I can't do it justice. In the midst of everything, eventually Zach catches wind of what's happening and he realizes that Dalen is on the phone and she heard all that was just happening. So he's like, oh no. So he's mad at Lonnie, like, why would you do that? What are you doing? And he's like trying to save the situation.
On my way home, I can explain everything.
You can't save the situation at this point. So Dalen is still freaking out on the phone. And as if this isn't bad enough, everything that's happening, a child walks in the room. Lonnie and Zach have a child together. And the kid is like, Daddy, what's going on? And Dalen hears this kid. And she is losing her mind even more.
Is that your baby? Tell me, is that your baby?
Like, if she was already on the edge, like, she's past, like, over the edge at this point. She is freaking out. She is losing her mind and she just can't take it anymore. So she goes to the bathroom. She's opening the medicine cabinet. She's going through all these bottles. She takes all these pills and she's just trying to end it all because the devastation and the betrayal,
The deception.
that she is experiencing right now, it's just too much. Like, she cannot handle it. Ugh. Dalen was unsuccessful with her attempt, which, thank goodness, because don't you ever let some buster make you want to end your life. Like, Come on, girl, stand up. She's in the hospital, and I don't know who's in charge of the staffing here, of the doctors and the nurses, but this nurse who's taking care of Dalen, she is so cute, and she's just making sure that everything is okay with her. And as she's leaving, here comes stinking Zach, trying to make jokes, talking about, oh, look who finally woke up. He got some funky flowers, trying to make small talk as if nothing happened. Okay, even though I'm mad at him, look at Zach's nails. Like, he's like getting manicures. He takes care of himself. Why is he kind of a baddie though? But anyway, he is trying to run his little game. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'll do anything. This marriage isn't over. And Dalen is not having it, as she should. As she shouldn't. She's not going for it.
What you need to do is get the fuck out. Get the fuck out, Zach. I hate you. You dead to me.
So while Dalen is telling Zach off, we are introduced to Dalen's dad. And his entrance is so funny to me. He's like, hey man, she said get out.
Hey, man, you heard what she said. She don't want you here.
We meet Dalen's dad, Mark. I don't know if it's Mark with a C or Mark with a K. But what I do know is when it comes to Dalen, Mr. Mark does not play. He is telling Zach off and letting him know, you need to get out of here now. And Zach is like, I don't care what you say because this doesn't have anything to do with you. This is between me and my wife. And Mr. Mark is like, oh, no. See, it became my problem when you did my daughter wrong. And Zach is like, listen, we're going to work this out. Ain't that right, Dalen?
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, you, Zach.
Get out, man, before I have your ass locked up.
Oh yeah, Mr. Mark is a detective, so keep that in mind. Here goes Zach with the theatrics, like, I love my wife. We're not getting a divorce. I love my wife. And Mr. Mark is not moved by this at all. He's like, yeah, all right, get out. So he's physically moving Zach so he can leave. And finally, Zach leaves. And so it's just Dalen and her dad together. And he goes and comforts her because this is a lot. And you know what? This is why women pick the bear.
I love my beer.
So at this point, 6 months have gone by. And Dalen and Zach are officially divorced.
Divorce.
So at this point, we see Dalen in therapy, and her therapist. Anyway, Dalen's therapist is checking in on her, just making sure that she's doing all right. And she suggests that Dalen needs to start spending more time pouring into herself. Maybe going out with her friends, taking a vacation, just things that will help her from being isolated. And of course, Dalen is very hesitant. I mean, I would be too if I just went through all the stuff that she just went through. But she's open to it. So in the next scene, we are introduced to her two girlfriends, Armani and Celine. They go to the club and they're sitting in their section. And Armani and Celine are just trying... Hold on. Armani and Celine... I never noticed that before when I was watching it, but they're material girls. Oh my god. They're trying to cheer Dalen up and get her like loose, and Dalen is just not really feeling the scene. Across the club, there's this guy who is staring Dalen down, and her two girlfriends are like, ooh, looks like somebody's interested, and Dalen is not feeling it at all.
The fuck? Ew.
She is expressing how she just can't really trust guys anymore. Like, they can say that they're available and say that they're single, but for all she knows, they can have a whole relationship. Her girlfriends say, well, every guy isn't Zach. You gotta try to get out there. But I mean, it's understandable where Dalen is coming from. This bartender comes over with a bottle of champagne, I think, and it has a note. And the note is pretty much like,
I noticed you noticing me. So I just want to put you on notice that I noticed you too.
Sincerely, Louis. And I mean, clearly the bottle came from the guy who was just staring Dalen down, but for some reason they act like, oh my gosh, like, who is this from? Who's this from? But then at the same time, they're like, oh well, Free bottle. So we're back at the jewelry store with Dalen and Ruby. And Ruby's about to head out because she has a doctor's appointment. And as she's walking out the door, she bumps into who else but Mr. Louis, mystery man from the club. And Ruby is like,
You need help with something in here?
Nah, you was getting ready to head out.
Was, but I come back in for you.
and I'm just like, Ruby, get your butt out of here. Go to the dang doctor before you have to reschedule your appointment. You could do better than that. Mr. Louis makes his way to the counter. Now, how he knew she worked at the jewelry store, I have no idea, but I digress. And Dalen is like, you look really familiar, but I don't know why. And this man says,
A lot of people do say I like the baby.
So he formally introduces himself to Dalen, lets her know that he's from Texas. He recently moved into town and he is interested in getting a special gift for a special someone he just met. I wonder who it is. So Dalen is asking him questions to try to get an idea of what it is that he'd like to buy. And Louis is saying how he doesn't really know her too well yet. Like, that's not his girlfriend, but he just wants something to blow her away. And the whole time I'm just thinking, like, Dalen, I know it's dark in the club, but you don't remember? This is the drink guy, girl. Like, what's not clicking? She pulls out all these different necklaces and then she points out one in particular. She says, oh yeah, this is my favorite piece. And then Louis like, oh, well, do me a favor, can you try it on for me? So she tries it on and he's like, oh yeah, that looks nice. And the girl I like, she did say that she likes things like this. Dalen, what's not clicking? So Louis like, okay, great, box it up, this is what I want. So the next day, Dalen gets a package. She opens a package and it is the necklace that she sold the day before to Louis. And Ruby's like, hold on, isn't that one of our pieces? And Dalen's like, oh yeah, now that you mention it, I guess it is. I just sold it to this dude yesterday. What's not clicking?
So why is he sending it back?
Very good question, Ruby. Very good question. She looks in the box and there's like a little note. And the note is from Louis asking Dalen out on a date. And Ruby's like,
That is weird as hell. That man don't know you from a can of paint, and you don't know him either. So this is really expensive. You don't think this is a little creepy? Be very cautious about the man you date. Just saying. If you go out with that man to society, make sure you keep your location on.
Okay, Mom. I
No,
will.
for real.
Ruby is right. And that's why she's a gem, because she's really looking out for her. Like, you don't know what his intentions are. You just met him, and just because someone buys you a fancy gift, an expensive necklace, a bottle at a club, that doesn't mean that they are a good person. So just a PSA. Dalen decides to take Louis up on his offer, and she meets him at this restaurant so that they can go on their date. And while they're there, she's just gushing about how romantic the grand gesture was that Louis made. And Louis like, yeah, you know, I'm pretty smooth. And he's really wooing her.
I can't put my finger on it, but there's something special about you.
They toast. When the food comes, she's like, oh, let's pray over the food. And he's like, oh, no, let's pray together. And Dalen is just smitten. So she, at this point, she's like, yeah, this is it. Now, I do want to point something out, though. Like, Louis, you gonna spend all that money on a necklace and you gonna take my girl Dalen to a restaurant that has styrofoam plates? Get it together. Quite honestly, I feel like that's a red flag. Like, what are we doing? Are you serious? So they're getting towards the end of the date. Dalen is really getting comfortable with Louis. She starts opening up to him and she's telling him about her past with Zach and also her fertility issues. And Louis like, listen, I'm a real man. So all that other stuff from your past, I can handle that. That's not a problem. And also, as far as the baby thing, I have 2 kids of my own. So if we can't have kids, It's really not a big deal. So she's like, okay, well, how does co-parenting work? And so Louis says, well, at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. I'm not about the drama, and she's not about the drama either. And Dalen's like, that's perfect. They lock eyes, and everything's coming up Millhouse because they're in love. Cue the cute relationship montage. My man, my baby, my baby, my baby. Down, spoiling me, driving me crazy. My man, my baby, my baby, my baby. Spoiling me, driving me crazy. So here's another one of Dalen's men. Shirt off, little pecs out, tattoo showing. He is on the phone talking to someone and telling them to come by in like 15 minutes. Dalen is rushing to get ready for work, and as she's getting ready, she takes a sip of coffee and she spills it on herself.
I'm not really about to be late. I wish I would go to work looking like this. Let me change.
Dalen changes her shirt. He walks her to the door, and as they open the door, there's a woman standing there. Hello? He's like, oh, it's cool. This is my god sister. Of course, Dalen's like, you never introduced me to a god sister before. I don't know who this is. And he's like, oh, no, it's cool. Like, she's just stopping by for a minute. So Dalen's like, okay, nice to meet you. She goes to work.
Don't be having me lying to these bitches.
And she helps herself into the house. Well, Louis invited her, but still, she's very comfortable, it seems. Dalen is driving to work, and something is just not sitting right with her. So she's like, you know what? Let me turn around and go back home and see what's going on. Dalen comes home. She walks upstairs. She goes to the bedroom, and she sees Louis in bed with this god sister. So Dalen is standing there in the doorway, heartbroken, crying. But she's like, you know what? I'm not going to hurt myself this time. This time, I'm going to hurt you. Because y'all like to cheat. Well, guess what? I like to beat. And she goes over to Louis and she starts bashing him in his head with this statue. And it's not funny. That's not funny. And the whole time, this page girl, that's the god sister's name, is screaming like, stop, no, stop. And I'm thinking, girl, get the heck out of there.
A big man! He gonna kill you!
Do you see this woman? I don't think she's up for having a rational conversation. Like, you got to go to protect yourself. But you know what? It was too late because Dalen turned around and she said, are you about to see God, sister? And she started bashing her too. So then as Dalen is beating the living life, I guess, out of them, that's not funny. There's a flashback where we see that as a child, in response to what her uncle did to her, she bludgeoned him with a trophy. And that just goes to show that she's got a kill on the board.
Scorekeeper, deduct 1 life.
She caught Louis cheating and she murked him. So, good thing she didn't overreact. Anyway, about a week passes and it's Louis' birthday. So to celebrate, Dalen went out and she got some wine, a bouquet of flowers, and a cake. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Sylvette, I thought Dalen killed Louis. She did, but his body is tied up in her basement, and she put a little party hat on him. She went down to the basement, and she started singing happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, dear Louis.
She's trying to feed him the cake, but he can't eat it, obviously, because he's no longer with us. And Dalen does not like wasting food, so she smacks him. So it just kind of like, he's like Cookie Monster in it, and it's just spilling out. So then she's trying to give him some wine, and she's getting herself all worked up because she's acting as if he is like critiquing her because she forgot the wine glasses.
I'm doing the best I can, and if you don't motherfucking like that shit, then fuck you with your ungrateful motherfucking ass. You know what? I drink this shit my fucking self.
So my thing is, how's she gonna be mad at him when she forgot? Like, that's not his fault, Dalen. That's not funny. So Dalen is a cold-blooded killer. Okay? As if it's not bad enough that she just killed 2 people One of them is in her basement. The other one, we don't know where she is. And I don't even want to hear, oh, I don't have a room in my house. Yes, you do, Dalen, because you have an elevator in your house. So I know for a fact that your place is pretty spacious. Where is Paige? This lunatic goes to work as if nothing happened. We are introduced to this new guy, this poor, stupid guy. His name is Prime. And he starts getting a little flirty with Dalen. And his flirting style is haggling. She shows him the chain and he says, oof, I saw this same thing cheaper somewhere else. And Dalen is like, listen, if you don't like how much it cost, you can go back to where you saw it in the first place. But here, the price is the price. So easily swayed, I guess. He's like, you know what? I'll take it. Box it up. So Dalen's like, okay, great. So she's preparing his order. And while she's doing that, Prime says,
You bought yourself up too. Because I paid top price because you walk the show.
like, ew. Why would you ever say that? Like, who does that work on? Clearly, she is not interested. Prime is still persistent.
I really don't be doing this right here. So let me start all over then. How you doing? I'm Prime. Let me take you out.
Dalen's like, I guess the last thrill that she had wore off. Date night comes. Dalen is out with Celine and Armani, and they are waiting for Prime. He finally shows up, and he's doing his little suave thing, trying to woo her, and it kind of works. They're on the dance floor. It seems like they're having a really good time. So then they get to the bar, and Prime is trying to get Dalen to take another shot. And Dalen is saying, listen, I'm not drinking anymore. I don't know what you're trying to do, but I'm not going to go home with you. This is not going to end the way you think it's going to end. And Prime is like,
The way you got me feeling, you got a brother hungry. I want lunch.
Stop it. Get some help.
You see, I only connect with women that I have sex with. And once I get that connection, then we just see how I go from there.
so then Dalen's like, so if we sleep together and we don't have a connection, then what? That's it? And Prime is like, no, it's not like that. I'm just an open, free person and all this stuff, right? So Dalen is kind of over him, and she says, okay, I have to go to the bathroom. So her friend Celine comes up to Prime, and she is laying it on thick. She's like, what you trying to get into tonight? And Prime is like,
Huh?
come again? And Selena's like, you heard me? You want to take me home or something? And he's like, well, I gotta make sure that Dalen is okay. And Selena's like, all right, cool. Well, after that, swing back to my place. Let's do what we do. And Prime is like, oh, that sounds like a plan to me. So then Celine walks off, and Dalen comes back. And as they're passing each other, it turns out this was a ploy to trick Prime.
Thank you for being so dumb.
If you haven't noticed, Dalen doesn't like cheaters, and she's been cheated on quite a bit. So she's trying to feel out the situation if Prime is a cheater. One thing leads to another, and the next thing we know, Prime wakes up. He is in a dark room on the floor, undressed, chained up. What the heck is going on? Dalen has this like Dexter thing going on where she thinks she's gonna clean up the streets by torturing promiscuous men so that way they can't hurt her or any other woman. And Prime is, well, a prime example of this. Prime, the poor little horn dog that he is, tried his best to be tough.
I'll be playing these games. I ain't with this dominatrix shit. Yo, get me out these handcuffs and stop playing with me.
Dalen gets up and puts her cigarette out on Prime's damp, sweaty forehead. And I wish I could say that that was the worst of it, but
There's more.
So in addition to getting a cigarette put out on his forehead, Dalen takes off her shoe and stabs him in the neck with the heel, and he is crying out in pain. And as he's crying, he gets a whiff of a pungent odor. Dalen reveals that it is the birthday boy who is still in the basement. So Prime is like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is getting out of hand. I am so sorry. Whatever I did to you, I am so sorry. I will never do it again. Please let me go. I won't tell on you. And Dalen is like, you've already seen too much. There's really no going back. This is your life now. All he wanted to do was get a little something something. And now he's getting way more than he bargained for.
He said it. He said it.
Okay, so now we have a little bit of a subplot going on. Louis' sister has grown concerned because she tried calling him a while ago and she didn't hear from him. So naturally, she reported him missing. Now, remember how earlier I said that Mr. Mark, Dalen's dad, is a detective? Well, Mr. Mark is working on the case to find Louis.
Y'all motherfuckers made me wait 40 hours and still ain't nobody seen or heard from my brother, so now what?
This woman is distraught because her brother is missing and she feels like the police have done nothing to try to find him. And all these two have to say is, whoa, calm down.
Ma'am, we're working on it.
Useless. Useless.
So while talking to detectives, Louis' sister reveals that he was, in fact, still married. And not only that, she also revealed that Louis was seeing multiple other women. Now, we already knew that because of the godsister page that he was cheating on Dalen with, but now it's just confirmation that there were multiple people. Who knows how many? The sister pulls out her phone and she is pulling up the Instagrams of some of the women that Louis was seeing. And one of the women, of course, is Dalen. So one of Mr. Mark's partners is like, hey, isn't that your daughter? And Mr. Mark is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. To Louis' sister, are you sure that he was seeing her? And she says, positive. So now you see, we kind of have a little bit of a doozy on our hands. We're back at the basement, okay? And Dalen is fully embracing this villain persona. This man is pleading, please don't let me die in here. And Dalen's like,
I'm not gonna let you die down here, baby. I want you alive and healthy. That's why I brought you food to feed you.
She brings this man a jar of baby food and she proceeds to feed it to him like, here comes the airplane. And obviously he doesn't want to eat it. And if we learn anything from Louis and the whole birthday cake fiasco, the only other thing that Dalen does not tolerate outside of cheating is wasting food. She said, you better eat this food. Don't you be wasting no good food. And he ate it. And then on top of that, she also got him dog treats and milk. And she's like, drink this milk if you know what's good for you. So Prime is just lapping it up. And then he spits it out because the milk is spoiled. Ew.
Bitch, this shit is spoiled.
He proceeds to name call, and Dalen doesn't particularly care for that, and so she handles that.
That's the last bitch you called me.
Prime got a cigarette put out on his forehead. He got stabbed in the neck. He's being fed forcibly spoiled milk, and she done knocked his teeth out. And unfortunately for Prime, it gets so much worse. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're like pliers or what, but she has these like clippy things, right? She's waving it around and she's like, I should cut yo dick off. And Prime is like, no, please. No, please.
Speak the fuck up and apologize to me.
For what? I don't know. Because she's the one that's doing all the damage at this point. I don't know if it's the milk. I don't know if it's the name calling. I don't know. But he's apologizing for it all.
Sorry, so now your ass is yelling at me.
This man cannot win. So Dalen goes and she cuts off his little Tootsie Roll. It's bad. So, Who the heck made this missing person poster? Me? Like, this is... What the heck is that?
Enough.
Okay, suspicion is brewing, and Mr. Mark goes to Dalen's job to confront her about what he learned as far as her connection with Louis. So he asks her straight up, do you know this Louis guy? And she's like, Louis, not really ringing a bell. And so Mr. Mark is like, okay, that's interesting because I met with his sister who said that you were dealing with him. And not only that, I looked on his Instagram and there was a picture of you two posted there. So he pulls out his phone, he pulls up the picture and he shows Dalen. And Dalen is like, oh, you mean Lou. Yeah, he doesn't call himself Louis. He goes by Lou. I know this woman who cannot make the connection that the Louis from the bar that bought her a bottle and the Louis who came to her job immediately after to buy her a secret admirer gift, that was the same man, is sitting here trying to outsmart somebody. I know that can't be true. But anyway, he's like, oh, so what happened to him? And she's like, oh, well, you know, we got into it and we kind of drifted apart and I never heard from him. So Mr. Mark tells her, oh, well, he was married. Did you know that? And Dalen is like, no, he never told me he was married. Because mind you, when they were having their little date, he made it seem as if the mother of his children and him were no longer together. They were just co-parenting, right? And he was saying, oh, I don't do drama, she don't do drama, blah, blah, blah.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie.
So her dad is like, okay, well, if you hear anything, let me know. And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll definitely let you know. Lie, she ain't gonna tell him nothing. Her face says it all. She has some plans when she get home. So she goes straight to the basement, right? And she is about to let Louis have it. And she's storming in there. She's like,
You can hide, but your ass can't run.
technically, he can't do either, ma'am. He's no longer with us. All the anger that she felt for Louis, she's feeling it all over again. She starts stabbing him. And Prime is like, please, he's already dead. Please stop doing this. And at this point, I'm like, please, Prime, just shut up. You know what I mean? Like, just lay in the fetal position. Don't say anything. Don't do anything. Because right now, you are public enemy number one.
Did you guys give up? Have you had enough pain?
Never!
All the rage that Dalen feels, you get the brunt of it. So, like, please, just stop. It's too late. Now, we see Dalen at a laundromat, which, first of all, don't you have an elevator in your house? So you mean to tell me that you have a house elevator, but you don't have a washer and dryer? Dalen, what is going on with you? So she's at the laundromat doing her laundry, and this guy comes up with his girlfriend, and he is just so disgustingly disrespectful and abusive.
Damn, she don't like to listen to shit. I ain't trying to put my fucking hands on you and you still don't get it.
The thing that really kills me is there's these two big burly men who see all this happening, and they're like, oh, let's get out of here. No one confronts him or anything. Like, so weak.
Yo, you big for no reason.
But anyway, the girlfriend is like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm leaving. You can figure out how to do the laundry by yourself. We find out that this is Jordan, and he is Dalen's next victim.
Another one, thank you.
Now, at this point, I'm not sure if she just so happened to be at the laundromat and then Jordan came and he was like the perfect mark for her, or if she's like scoping out the scene trying to find men that she can put in her basement. But in any case, Dalen is putting the moves on him, saying,
I heard what just happened with you and your girlfriend. I don't know her, but she seemed like she got a real nasty ass attitude. The one thing I know how to do is take care of my man.
And this guy is so easy that he instantly falls for it, and he's like, oh yeah, I need a woman like you.
Got him. We fucking got him.
So they go to Dalen's house. She's getting him nice and liquored up, pretending to be interested in him. And she's like, you know what? Let's go to the bedroom. And he says, oh yeah, that sounds like a plan. So She's taking him, guiding him down the hallway, and believe it or not, she actually takes him to the basement.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
Dalen is about to go to town on this guy when there's a knock on the door. And she's like, who the heck is disturbing me right now? This is torture hour. And it's Mr. Mark. And apparently they were supposed to have dinner that night, but Dalen completely missed it. Dalen's dad notices that there is a car in her driveway, and the car belongs to Jordan. So he asks, do you have company? And Dalen's like, yeah, and if you don't mind, I would like to get back to it. So as they're talking, foolish Prime starts screaming in an attempt to be rescued. Mr. Mark is like, hey, what is that? And Dalen says, oh, it's just a TV. We were watching a movie, which I feel like is the oldest excuse of the book, and somehow it works. And I thought you were better than that, Mr. Mark, but I guess not. He leaves, and she is right back on it.
I'm sorry.
And sorry doesn't cut it in the basement, Prime. You should know by now. Jordan wakes up and he sees what's happening, and he starts screaming and crying. And Dalen is like,
I know a bitch when I see one.
you like to beat up on your girlfriend and smack her around, and you're gonna sit here and start crying? Are you serious? I thought you were this big tough man. So she goes and she gets a sledgehammer and she miseries him. She busts his ankle, and he's screaming. Prime is screaming. Everybody's screaming. And Dalen is like, music to my ears. So once again, Dalen is at work, and in walks Jordan's girlfriend. Her name is Carmen, and it's Carmen and Carmen's daughter. Apparently, Jordan has been missing for 2 weeks, and Carmen is asking if it's okay for her to leave missing person flyers at the jewelry shop. So Carmen is like, oh my gosh, do you happen to have a bathroom? And Dalen's like, yeah, sure, it's right this way. So Carmen goes to the bathroom, and she leaves her daughter at the front with Dalen. So Dalen says, oh, well, I'm sure you'll be happy once he's found, right? So then the little girl, she initially says no, but then she catches herself and she says, oh, yeah. So Dalen's like,
is he mean to you? Has he ever hurt you?
So then Carmen comes out of the bathroom, and she's looking at the jewelry case as she walks by, and she notices an interesting piece of jewelry. When Jordan and Dalen first met, she noticed that he had this ring on, like it's a very unique ring, and it's a ring that his grandmother gave to him. So of course, since he is in her basement, she took the ring and she's about to resell it. And Dalen is like, no it isn't, it just came in from overseas this morning. And she said, no, okay, listen, I know that this is his ring. And Dalen is getting very defensive. So Carmen is like, you know what, you're probably right, I'm gonna go. And Dalen expeditiously throws those posters in the trash.
They're on to me.
There is an active missing person search for Jordan in addition to Louis. But also, it's really sad because it seems like no one misses or is looking for Prime. All right. Mr. Mark does his own little investigation.
Can you give me the information on that make and model and the license plate of the guy who went missing?
So now his daughter is suspect in 2 missing person cases, while Mr. Mark is dealing with this conundrum. Dalen is over here in the basement with boxing gloves as she starts letting loose on this man, throwing haymakers at him, right?
Come on, Mayweather. You bad, right? Fight back.
Prime decides that he wants to jump in and says, leave him alone.
None of fucking boxing.
Mind your business, Prime. Okay, I don't know what her beef is with Prime, like why she goes so hard on him, but she decides to take a break from Jordan and she says, I'm about to Mike Tyson you. At this point, this man is freaking Mr. Potato Head. He don't got no ear. I forgot to mention, but she broke his fingers at some point. He doesn't have his Vienna sausage, so he's like a G.I. Joe down there. He's missing, he doesn't have teeth. He's missing so many parts. It's crazy. Like, Prime, just play dead. Like, what are you doing? The next day, Dalen is meeting with Mr. Mark for brunch. So as she's leaving, we see that Carmen, Jordan's girlfriend, is staking out her house, doing a one-man sting operation, seeing what she can find out. Dalen's at breakfast with her dad, and he is very concerned, and he confronts her about Louis and Jordan because he knows that she's involved in their disappearances.
What about this guy that was at your house the other day when I came by? His name was Jordan Betts. And this guy, Lewis, whatever his name is, he's missing too.
She gets very defensive, and instead of addressing it, she just decides to leave, which makes Mr. Mark even more suspicious. Dalen makes her way home, and somehow it's nighttime. But anyway, Carmen confronts her with a gun, and she's like, listen, where is Jordan? What did you do with him?
He's somewhere where he can't beat your dumb ass no more and touch on your daughter.
Dalen's like, call her. Call your daughter and ask her.
Carly, I need to ask you something. Did Jordan ever hurt you? Yes.
So she takes Carmen down to the basement, and Carmen is absolutely mortified when she sees a dead guy in a birthday hat, a mutilated Prime, and Jordan with his busted up ankle all chained up. Jordan feels relief because he's like, oh, my girlfriend's here. She's gonna save me.
Not quite.
It's not just hurting you, he's also hurting your daughter, and he needs to pay for it. So she grabs a broomstick and she starts beating Jordan with it. But the beating isn't enough. So she sticks the broomstick where the sun don't shine. He's begging Carmen, please shoot her. Please shoot her. End this. End it. And instead, Carmen shoots Jordan. All that's left is Prime.
Please kill me, I want to die.
Carmen runs off. Dalen runs after her. Now, I don't know if this is great timing or terrible timing. In comes Mr. Mark, gun drawn. He's like, what is going on here?
They all hurt me. They had to pay. We can't go to jail. They're the ones that made us do this.
Mr. Mark is like, stay here. He goes down to the basement. Terrible foul odor smacks him in the face. There is Prime, thinking, oh, blessed be, finally help, right? And Mr. Mark is like,
I get some help, okay?
0.2 seconds. Decides to change his mind. Holds up his gun. Points it at Prime. Prime's like, what the heck? Help me. And Mr. Mark is like, I'm so sorry. And he shoots Prime. Which, I feel bad, but at the same time, he asked like a couple scenes ago to please let him die. So it's kind of like a case of be careful what you wish for. Also, what kind of quality of life would you have, Prime? Like, you're a mess, okay? You are a shell of the man you used to be, and I think it's probably for the best that it's over. Your suffering is ended. So Mr. Mark is going to take care of everything. He's telling his partners that he was unable to apprehend Dalen because she ran away, and him telling Dalen to get out of town, never to come back. We see our old friend Zach and his little boo thing Lonnie. And they are playing at the park with their son, who we met a little earlier, and they have a baby girl. So across the park behind a tree is Dalen.
I see you're having family time. How cute is that?
The thing that gets me is there's one stinking tree. Why are you looking all over the place, Zach? Look straight. She's right there. This phone call obviously freaks Zach out. So he's like, all right, let's get the kids. We got to get out of here. They're in the hallway. There is a lady crouched over. It looks like she's cleaning.
Excuse me, ma'am. We're trying to get by.
It is Dalen, and she has a surprise. She pulls out the blicky and she starts mowing them down. First, she goes for Lonnie. Then she goes for Zach. And then she gets the little boy who did absolutely nothing. I don't understand why she did that. I don't like you. You are the villain of this movie. Like, I don't even care what you were going through. That's unacceptable. There's a baby girl up for grabs. And you know who always wanted a little baby girl? Dalen. And you know who's now in need of some parents because she recently lost them? This little baby girl. So Dalen scoops up this little baby. She goes into the elevator. And then she runs off into the sunset with this child that she just abducted. And at this point, you're probably thinking, this has to be the end of the movie, right? Wrong. We're at a club, right? And we see this dark-haired woman talking to this guy, having a good night. She turns around and it's revealed that this woman is Dalen.
Oh my God! Wow!
Now, first of all, this, if you notice, is the same club where Dalen met Prime. That means that she did not listen to her father when he told her to leave town and never come back. She, in fact, came back. On top of that, where did you get your hair done, Dalen? Because you know how salons are and you know how word gets around. Because somebody's going to say, ooh, guess who I saw? And they're going to say, ooh, who? Dalen. She's back in town. Her hair is blacker than ever. Now the jig is up and everybody knows that you're here and you're going to get caught. If that's not your hair and that's a wig, where did it get delivered to? Where are you staying? What's your address? Is it local? How are you paying for this? Where you working at? You still at the jewelry place? Where's the baby, Dalen? Who's watching the baby? Because you out here in the club, who's watching the baby? I have so many questions. But anyway, Dalen is at the club. She's sitting down with this guy. And he's talking about how he wants to marry her. And Dalen is like, you know, I would love that. As long as you can be honest and loyal and faithful, I will be more than happy to be your wife. So then the guy gets up to get another drink. As he's going up to the bar, a commotion breaks out. His wife confronts him and smacks the taste out his mouth. The camera zooms in on Dalen and she says,
I can't wait to get that motherfucker to that basement.
So in the end, justice?